Hello, you joined me from my kitchen floor, and that's because it's 2025, and that means I get to make my gear list video for the year. In this video, I'm going to be explaining my full kit, so that's 4 seasons. I'll be covering everything from my rucksacks through to my sleep system and cook system. So without further ado, let's get into it. I primarily use 2 rucksacks. I've got a smaller 30 litre one, and then I also use a larger OEX one, which is 70 litres but expandable up to 80 litres. For my sleep system, I have 2 roll mats that I use. So I've got a thicker one for winter, and if I can carry the extra weight. If I'm going on a longer hike, I've just got this cheaper rollout one, although it's quite battered, I could probably do with getting a new one. And that pairs with my Sea to Summit Comfort Plus insulated large, because I'm 6'2.5" and I wanted the extra width and length. That was my expensive purchase for last year, and it's been an absolute game changer. Sleeping bag wise, I've got 3 sleeping bags, 4 season, brilliant. 2 season, not the best. And then one I use in the summer. It's a 1/2 season. But it only goes down to 11 degrees in comfort. It's basically a glorified bin bag. Winter one, comfort's 1 degrees. And this one, honestly, I don't rate it. I try to avoid using it if I can. I use it late spring through to summer kind of time. Finally, a little Trespass travel pillow. Compresses down nice and small. Also in my rucksack, I have waterproofs, which I put at the bottom, top and bottoms. Never know when you're going to need them. They're lightweight. And I also cramp in some old trainers, because after a long hike, first thing you want to do is just get out with your boots and put some trainers on. For my cook system, I sometimes take a Trangia. Last year, I also bought myself the OEX Tucana. It's a bit like the Jetboil, but a bit larger and quite a bit cheaper. That runs on gas. The Trangia runs on methanol. I do have a canister I normally carry that in, although I've not found that for this video. Plastic cup / mug, lightweight, cheap. For lighting the Trangia, and if I have a fire, I keep all of my fire starting kit in a bag that is waterproof and I know it's not going to get wet. Got flint and steel, some matches. Normally I sometimes take a lighter, and then I've got a bit of cotton wool in case I'm in an emergency situation and I need to start a fire quickly. Water bottle, I've got a couple of different water bottles I've taken, but for this video, this is just a kind of standard one I use, 1 litre plastic bottle. For hikes where I'm going to be going through a bit rougher terrain, I sometimes take a metal bottle. Utensils wise, I've got a teaspoon for making drinks. Long titanium spoon for longer hikes because it's lightweight, good for the dehydrated meals in the bag. And then just a 3-piece set, fork, spoon, knife that all clips together. And then I've got a bowl and plate, aluminium, nice and light. Goes together with this rubber band so it doesn't rattle. Like, I know that's a bad example, but it doesn't. Other bits and bobs I have in the bag. Got my walking boots. Toiletry kit. Use your imagination what's in that. Put all my camera gear and electronics in that bag. Although I do use a Garmin to navigate these days, I will never go out with a map and a map case just to keep it dry, accompanied with a compass, because you never know when your electronics are going to fail. One of the biggest tips I could probably make is learn how to use a map and compass. It could save your life. Talking of navigating, I have a Garmin. It's the Solar X2, I believe. Great bit of kit. Very sturdy. Battery lasts for a very long time. Other smaller bits and bobs. So, lantern. If I don't take that, I've got this one. This is perfect for hanging from a tent because it's got the little hook. I keep the little plastic thing in to save the battery. Radio for entertainment. Head torch, very bright. Swiss Army knife, always comes in useful. Little microfiber towel. Look how small that packs down to. That's my hand for comparison. Wallet. For emergencies, I've got a foil bivy bag. As you can see, never been opened. That's a good sign. Never had to use it. Hopefully it stays that way. For those really cold nights, I've just got some hand warmers. A towel. Again, look how small that folds down to. And as you can see, it's 130 centimetres by 70, so 0.7 metre by 1.3 metres. So big enough. Just some wet wipes. Again, for entertainment, I sometimes take a book or, anything else. Sometimes I'll take my tablet and watch a film, but cards is just an example. For the summer, suntan cream. And for all time of year, bug spray. Now, this is a nifty bit of kit I got. This is actually a first aid kit, but it's in a dry sack. So if the weather is truly torrential or quite extreme, I can always put my phone or fire starting kit, anything that I need to make sure stays dry, I can put in there, such as car key, for example. I bought this last year. It's a OEX trekking chair, X-Lite chair, whatever you want to call it. It's not as small as I hoped it would be, but if I can fit it in my pack, it's a nice added luxury to have, but that is very much a luxury. It's a bit heavy. And then the piece de resistance, my Hilleberg Nalo 2. Rolls-Royce tent's pretty much Hilleberg, can't go wrong with it. Bit warm in the summer, but in the winter or bad weather, it's not going to fail me. I know I'm going to be safe in this thing. Only thing is, it's rather bulky and a bit heavy. So, for this year, that's something I'm wanting to work on. Last year I worked on my sleep and cook system. This year I'm planning on buying a Wild Country Helm 2 Compact. That should be coming soon, and I'll be using that to do some wild camping videos. So that was my gear list video for 2025. This year I've really focused on actually just being more efficient with my gear, bringing my pack size down. I've cut a lot of the crap that I used to carry. I can still get away with carrying extra weight. Not ideal, particularly not on longer hikes, but sometimes I prefer to have that luxury over weight. Not for everybody, that's just a choice I make. If I know my shoulders will suffer a bit more in the long run, but if it means I can have a chair to sit on at the end of the day, then sometimes it makes it worth it. You've got to do what's best for you. It's a healthy mix of cheap gear and expensive gear. So the tent, some of the sleep system, like the sleeping pad, more expensive. But then I've got cheap little bits of cutlery and stuff. And again, it's a fine balance. I found it's worked very well for me last year. A few things I'd like to tweak for this year. But you'll have to wait and see for future videos for what they might be. Like I said, the first one, I want a new tent. One that I'm not afraid to go and wild camping. And if I need to ditch it in an emergency, I can. Whereas obviously I don't want to be doing that with my Hilleberg. Though obviously in extreme conditions, Hilleberg will do. So, thank you very much. Leave a like and subscribe. Feel free to put any comments or criticisms in the comment section. And I mean, just any gear that you have that you might recommend to me. Awesome. Thank you very much. And feel free to check out some of my other videos.